that we are doing is finding the first bad version. So basically what they're saying is that there are versions of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and stuff like that. And we have to figure out which version is actually broken. So let's say if the first one that gets broken, everything after that will always be broken. So we have to figure out which version was actually broken. This one is actually a little bit confusing. So I think like what I would do is basically send an array of versions and they will be indexes. So this will be the 0th one, first one, and second one, and stuff like that. We can either take, we can say that if it is 0, if it is 0, then that means it's a good version. If it is 1, then that means it's a bad version. We can probably do something like that. So let's say it was 0, 0, 0, and 0. Four versions were good, and after that 1, 1, 1, and stuff like that, right? So what we, in this case, what we have to find is we have to find this index, which means that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So index number 4 is the one where it is broken. So that is basically what it is. It's very, very similar to, it's actually same as the binary search, because this is, if you can think about it, and that's why I took 0 as the true value, as the good value, is because like if you think about it as a sorted array, like this is basically a sorted array, everything after that will be basically 1. So we have to find the first one, which is actually this. That is what the question is. Pretty simple. So we will say over here is private static integer get first bad version of an integer array ARR. Okay, so that is basically what we have to find. So so what we'll do is we'll actually first bad version, bad B. Okay, so we'll say integer start is equal to 0 and integer end is equal to ARR dot length minus 1. Okay, so these are the two, and in the end we'll actually return the start. So that is what we are going to start. Okay, so we will say we'll first do some preliminary check. We don't even want to go, let's say if the first one itself was broken. So we'll check if ARR of start is equal to 1, which means that it was broken. We just return 0 because the first one is broken itself. Otherwise we'll say while start is less than end, what we are going to do is we are going to find the middle. So we'll say integer middle is equal to start plus end divided by 2. We can say start by 2 plus end by 2. That's fine. So that is good. And then we'll check if ARR of mid is equal to 1, which means that the one which is the middle one is broken. So in that case, what we will do is we will actually make the end as the middle one, because that might be the first one that is broken. Definitely that is broken. So your start would be somewhere on the left side, right? Otherwise, else what we'll do is we'll say start is equal to middle plus 1. We'll say start is equal to middle plus 1. Otherwise, which means that ARR of mid was 0, which means it was a good version. So we'll say start is equal to middle plus 1, which is the next one. So that is good. And the end, we just return the start. So that is all we have to do. And this is less than a 5-minute code. So we'll say integer array is equal to new array, which is, let's say 0, 2, 3, 4. 4 versions were good, and then everything else was bad. Okay, so then we have to find the index. So and we will say get first bad version for the array ARR. So it should return us 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should return us 4. So let's just run this. And four. That is good. Let's make this as this, and we'll say run. We'll just check one more value. So it should return us 2, and it is returning us 2. So that is another question, and less than 5 minutes Facebook interview question. Thank you.